Welcome to Weekend Special, Uncensored. So recently there was the tragic death of Winnie Mandela and Julius Malema said some stuff, and I think it's just important that we talk about it, and that's what this whole special is about today. So
At her funeral, no less.
at her funeral, yes. Would anyone like to start?
I just want to say it's a big loss for the country. Big time. It's a pretty big deal.
Completely.
She had a powerful legacy, and that was a moment for us to respect that legacy. And a few folks did kind of hijack that moment.
In the left turns there, bro. Yo.
Like there was a lot of hijacking that moment to honor her legacy. And yeah, it was kind of stolen by Julius. Is it justified in any way? Maybe. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Whether or not that was an appropriate place to address the things that he did address. Is what he said true? Yes, it is. I'm not gonna say that no, he should never say those things. No, he should. It's just there's a time and a place, bro. There's a time and place. That was not the place. That was not the place, or at least I don't feel it was the place. But actually, to be honest, this is one of the things we were saying earlier. It was purely a political move, and it was a smart play politically. But it's just not a good thing to do as a human being. Like that's just.
But I mean, politicians are dead inside.
Clearly,
I was gonna make that comment.
It's actually such a. This is world shattering for most people, for everyone in South Africa. It's a tragic event, and I don't think a lot of people. I don't think it's really become a thing in their mind. I think people are still kind of getting to the point where they realize we've lost someone so important.
It's been a bit over a week, and this person is just out, pushing political agendas and taking shots at people. Like, shit, just
is he politically, like, was it a genius move on his part? I mean, he got his message across, and the whole of South Africa was listening. Is it disgusting?
Wait, what's the message actually?
The world.
What's the message?
There was no message. That's
There
the
was
thing.
there was no.
He was just
It
taking
was a
shots.
commercial. It was an EFF commercial.
No,
Yeah,
there was a message.
What's the message?
It was propaganda. It wasn't a message.
No, there was a message.
What's the message? Eat at Joe's.
No, the message was that though people didn't honor you or show value towards you
In life.
when you were alive,
Yeah.
they're here now because you have passed on. Whether they two-faced or not, they are here now.
But that was a very small part of all the things he
Yeah,
said.
no. I'm saying that's the message
That's
that he
one
was trying to
message.
get across.
But with the
I don't
snakes in
think
the
that
grass.
that's what he was trying to say.
What
I feel
snakes?
that was something he did say.
He did.
I don't
say
think that was the end goal of what he was saying.
Wait, what is Rusty saying? That
No,
that there were snakes in the grass, or that
Yeah, Rusty's
thanks to
saying-
Winnie,
there are
these people.
snakes in the grass.
Oh,
Not
He's
there
saying
were.
that Julius was
Yeah.
saying there are snakes in the grass and we must sort them out.
Yeah.
But we're saying that that's not all Julius was
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to do.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
Yeah.
It was an EFF commercial.
It was.
There's
He was
snakes in the
saying,
grass,
"There's
so
snakes in the
vote
grass.
EFF.
You can trust us. No one else."
Yep.
That's what he was trying to say.
In other words, the Donald Trump dog. Drain the swamp.
Yes, that is
Donald
literally
Trump.
what he was doing. He was shaming the opposition. That is
Was it
purely what he
clean
was
Donald
doing.
Trump?
So then my argument would then be, why would he then honor the president of the ANC?
On
I know. No,
with,
he wasn't.
with the opening statement saying that
Oh yeah, you mean
whoever-
one sentence?
Hold on.
that's what I said. Listen, dude, whether it is a single sentence over an entire speech that lasted 19 minutes. Oh my gosh, Yes.
Let
But
me,
yes, so he said, "This Mama ANC is your political party.
Yes.
Yes.
This is where you stood.
And we were honored where you stood.
Where you
You see me
stood."
want to say things.
I'm not
trying to
giving no
accelerate him
fucks.
to his point.
I'm not giving no fucks today. Fuck y'all. Yes, but anyway, what he was doing is that he's giving the honor where the honor needs to be. But now, what he's doing is he's shedding the light upon the dark spots as well. Like, as in, though you may be held up high, you still have your holes that practically the EFF is filling.
I'm gonna disagree with you here. I mean, let me just and then you can, because I'm sure I'm not gonna hit every part.
Oh yeah.
No, what
They're
I'm
gonna
gonna
tag
say-
team you, dog.
I'm gonna try.
This is-
I'm gonna focus on one specific part.
I feel like you need to get the
He
move
was
ready.
not honoring
Yeah. that's
any president
what part of it was
of the ANC. He was honoring the legacy of the ANC that was
Mhm.
Winnie. That's what he was saying. The ANC is her child. That was her party, and other parties were not for her at the time. He was trying to honor them. He very much only spoke about certain parts of the ANC when he was honoring her. He was saying, these are the people that were for your ideals. In no way is he happy about Ramaphosa, but he felt that it's not the time to say certain things about Ramaphosa.
Oh yes.
Because he's still playing a game.
He's still playing, yeah, he's getting to that point.
Not now.
Not now. At
It's
first
too
he's
soon.
going to say, you are the head of the ANC. You are the head of her party. Right now I'm gonna leave you alone. Today is not the day that I fight you. That's the statement he was making. And then he went all the way to rank everyone else in South Africa.
You know what I think? Yeah, in fact, I want to add on to that because I think there was no real honor to that whole thing. None at all. He was acknowledging because there are certain... ANC is technically, although full of holes, is quite ironically bulletproof
Yeah.
when it comes to apartheid. You know what I mean? It's got holes, but...
Bulletproof. I feel like it has like that
But you
Wolverine
can't
ability. That
diss the whole-
spontaneous regeneration is just.
No, but I'm just saying you can't
doesn't
say
die.
the ANC was trash during apartheid, can you?
No.
You can't say that at all. So he has to cover his bases. He
Yes.
has to go after the pillars. He has to acknowledge the pillars,
Yeah.
while at
Yes.
the same time calling the whole thing corrupt, which is what he's trying to do. But
Yes.
he can't because I think he's actually doing a smarter political game than I actually realized until now.
Yeah, he's a genius.
So, what he's doing is he's going after the working class with this. Because I remember, okay,
His game has always been the working class.
I work at Mandela. I'm sure you guys know Julius. You know Julius. Well, the guy who works at the cinemas.
Anyway, the guy that doesn't give me free movies.
Yeah, that guy.
He's gonna
Anyway.
see this.
Good. Anyway,
Share the link.
I remembered him giving me this whole, it was a borderline Fidel Castro speech about how, how much you guys know about Cuba?
No.
But yeah, you guys know, they went from one dictator who the Americans liked to a dictator the Americans didn't like.
Yes.
But during the turnover, what happened was there were trials that led to executions. Like thousands of people died,
Yes.
right? And Julius, not Malema, another guy, that's not his real name.
Julius, another guy. I don't know why we're being mean. This is
Anyway,
his family name, man.
he was saying that, no, when the turnover happened, we should have done that. We should have done that. Instead of a truth and reconciliation, we should have gone after these people, right? Which to me is horrifying because last time I checked, Cuba's living salary is like 100 rand per month.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
No.
Exactly. So, but now there's this sense
Let's
of...
not chalk up all of Cuba's failings.
But you
to
get what
one
he's saying.
event.
I know,
But
I know what
you
you're saying.
You
Yeah.
see where it's going.
Yes.
Yeah.
My point is,
Don't argue semantics.
it's...
I was getting angry.
My point is that there's this sense of, I think I mentioned it last time, there's a sense of like anger and injustice that people who are feeling in the working class, right?
Yeah.
Which is why Julius, by saying this, he's got them, dog. I've noticed these messages I'm getting on my
Now he's
WhatsApp,
talking about
my
Julius
Twitter.
Malema.
Yeah, now I'm talking about Mandela, yes. He's got them. Him saying this was a brilliant move to get that base. It's why he acknowledged the black middle class, because technically we're not there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not feeling that same anger, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yes.
So he's going after them, which is why he acknowledged the black middle class. Eventually he's going to come after us. Well, after the black middle class, right? But first he's got to catch his ground base and then build up. And that's what he's doing right now.
He's
But
going for black
unfortunately-
working class.
He's basically tap dancing on Winnie Mandela's grave like he's making grapes, dog. Like he's making wine. And it's terrible. It's brilliant, but
it's deplorable behavior. It is.
it's some sociopath shit.
Yeah, like, you can't manipulate. Oh, he's capitalizing on the death of an icon.
And I'm sure the others were, but not
there
to
were
this
other
level.
people
Yeah,
capitalizing
didn't
on
feel
that.
like this.
But I mean, he's the one that became a meme. That's why we're talking. We're not.
But
even
who do you
joking.
think is making those memes, guys? I think
Us.
it's us.
It's
Yeah,
all of us.
It's us.
Okay, I personally haven't.
Because I feel like
It's
we
the internet
acknowledged
people.
Because I won't lie.
No, don't blame
Before
the
the
internet
meme, I
people.
was sad. Because I just keep hearing this, oh, Julius, you're the next president. It's coming. And I was sad because I was like, oh, okay, so this is happening. There's no
And now you
escaping.
just need to acclimate to the idea.
I was
Just
getting
like,
my tickets to Canada and Australia.
Like, this dude live in the speech said, Viva land with no reconciliation, guys.
Yo,
Just with no compensation.
So, yeah,
Sorry,
land with no compensation.
With no compensation.
Appropriation with no compensation.
I was
Yo,
just like,
Zimbabwe much, guys.
I was just like, how do you say that in the same speech as in the time when you were supposed to be acknowledging the life of an icon? How do you just say this? So you're like gonna slogan drop. That'd be the equivalent of Trump going to a funeral and then just saying MAGA real quick. Just hashtag MAGA.
Yep.
Like, no, you
And
can't just
people
be like,
would lose their
make
minds.
America great again in
People
the middle.
would lose their minds.
It's not okay.
But for some reason, we're cheering.
this dude dropped a slogan in the middle
That's
of
why I
a
think
funeral.
That's why I think these memes are so valuable, actually. I think this Julius Malema challenge is actually valuable. Like, I think it actually means something.
It
because
does.
The best weapon is jokes, guys.
Yeah.
Let's keep
we,
the jokes coming.
we can't
I
take
mean,
him
think
seriously.
about how many Trump jokes there were.
I need,
Look where we are.
I need to say this thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Y'all are aware that Ramaphosa and Winnie wanted Julius to come back to the ANC.
Yes.
We're all aware of that. We agree
Yes.
with that.
Yeah, he's a populist leader, yeah.
Right. Are y'all aware that Winnie shared the same vision as Malema? It's just that
In terms of...
in terms of land expropriation without compensation.
I can
The
understand.
only
Okay.
problem is that Julius, the way that Julius had voiced it was not what he meant it to be.
What did he mean it to be?
As he said before, it's not the case of we're taking it back, you go wherever you want to go, but this is ours. No, what he's saying is, listen man, you've got land. How about let's give this piece to this guy because he's been working here. And because he doesn't own anything except what you give him come Monday.
Okay, let me just say something. I'm once again disagreeing with you, but I'm going to start at the start of your sentence. That's where my disagreements always start up, because you immediately piss me off. Okay, to say that he is on the same page as Ramaphosa and
Winnie.
I feel like you're simplifying something so complex. Malema and the EFF, there's a reason why they're their own thing. I believe he is a necessary evil, but in no way should he actually be in charge of the government. I think the EFF actually gets things done, and they are the extremists that we need to push people into realizing that there are actual problems happening. But in the same breath, he's dangerous.
He is the checks and the balances, but he can be nothing more than the check and the balance.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That was a terrible analogy.
Okay, basically we need him. We do.
We need him. There's a reason why. It's not the same fears we had when okay, not we. I'm not part of that because I don't know, I was pretty young.
Yeah.
It's not the same fear that people had when Zuma was going to become president, because Zuma he's one thing, you're wondering what's happening with him. But with Malema, you know he's an extremist. You know he's capable of many things. This is such a charismatic man. He galvanizes people. He can steal the working class from the ANC, which is where they get tons of votes. Almost all of them. He can take that because he's such a powerful presence. And we can believe him because we know he'll go to the extent to do this. But that's not a good thing in any way. You can't be going that far to get one thing solved.
Lastly, I'm going to say that there's a very real chance that yes, not a very real chance. I'm going to say yes, they agreed in the ideology. I do not believe they agreed in the implementation. The bill that this man just proposed is terrible, and I refuse to believe that Winnie Mandela would have supported it. The bill that that Julius has proposed.
Because keep in mind what this bill actually says.
The actual bill that he's proposed is terrible. The implementation, I do not believe they would have agreed on.
Yeah, that didn't agree on.
I agree that they agreed on in the ideology, the proposition itself, yes. But I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I do not think it was appropriate. That is all I'm saying. This is not the place.
Yes.
You can't just be dropping this
But-
slogan of yours in a funeral,
do you
bruh.
wanna say anything?
That's not okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Sorry.
It's not okay.
I just want to say, now we can agree that this wasn't the right time for this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I said,
But I think what we actually need to talk about now
Sure.
is it's been done. He said these things.
It's happened.
It's become a huge thing.
It's happened.
It's trending. He's on everyone's mind. Everyone's talking about it. People are going out of their way to make memes.
Which means it's just going to keep propagating for the Lord knows how long.
This is
Guys,
propaganda at its best.
There's no
This
fighting
was
it.
a genius thing that could have happened for him.
Yep.
What does that
Happened for
mean?
him. He did it.
And we will talk about that
After the break.
after the break. And we are back. So, right now we have spoken about quite a few things, but it's time we spoke about the consequences of what happened and the consequences of this trending Julius Malema challenge.
Life's about
I
to
think it's
change.
too early for actual consequences.
Like, no.
Okay.
Make it sound like people
Last
died, but okay.
No,
Last-
bruh.
Let's hear this.
Let's
I
hear it.
feel like this is the moment where the EFF is now officially going to be in the open
Contender.
eye. As in like, yeah, that's the, what do you call this? The correct English term for it, but yeah, it's going to be
In the public,
in
yeah.
the public now. Like people are going to see what
They got
EFF is trying
limelight.
to do, because this thing has been like it's been a big thing, and it's been what, almost 2 weeks, and people have been talking about this. People have been, I don't know what you call it, because women are now wearing dukes and all that.
Oh, you're talking about the dead person?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the dead person.
Well, that's still Winnie Mandela though.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
I need, I
Yes.
need to go that route, right?
Yes, we're talking about when he's dead.
Yes, right. So now everyone has been on Winnie's death, and today was the day where everyone was like, okay, the funeral is today. Either you're going, you're watching on the news.
Yeah.
Those are your two options.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And now, bet money. Most of the populace, most of the working class, was either there or watching.
Yes.
So everything that he said, starting from he's there for the child that couldn't go to school, all the way to the shopkeepers and all that. It's marketing.
Yes.
And
So
it's
hence
violence. Yeah.
hence why I'm saying that as of today, that is changing.
EFF is becoming more prominent.
Yeah. As
And
of
that is true.
as of today, that was the most powerful statement anyone could have made, and he did it. I still see timing, but
Wait, so are you saying that him doing it at this funeral,
was opportune for him.
yes,
Yeah, of course.
and that maximized them views,
Yes.
and now to just make it even, I don't want to say powerful,
To add
but to
fuel
give
the
it
fire.
more staying power in the minds of people, to keep it in people's minds. He's
Hashtag
now got
Julius
the
challenge.
internet. Yeah.
Hashtag Julius.
The Julius challenge
Yeah.
is now keeping it in people's minds.
Oh, okay, I'm going to
keeping
argue.
focus on the EFF.
Okay,
I'm going to argue.
let Rob go.
Okay, here's what I think is going to happen. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's like committing a war crime in order to get the maximum effect. We all agree it's in bad taste.
Yeah.
But it
But it
also
does the
maximum
thing.
effect.
Yeah.
It does
Yeah.
the thing.
It did the thing. We can all agree on that. But I feel like what you're saying is the Julius Malema challenge is the energy that's going to push them forward. I think it's the exact opposite. I think right now the Julius Malema challenge is deflating Julius's thing.
Yeah.
Because it's pointing out the bad taste.
Can I counter him? Okay.
Let him
here's-
finish. Let him finish.
Oh,
I
finish.
feel like it's cancelling out the bad. It's pointing out the bad taste. That
Okay.
you using this opportunity to sell Omo is funny. So let's all make jokes out of it. Oh yeah, yeah, it's a good time to complain about this. It's a good time to complain about this. Everyone's adding their own miniature complaint to diminish Julius's complaint.
So it's kind of like when one of our prior presidents talked about showers,
Yeah.
and that presented an actual issue, guys. That
Yeah.
we have a very tricky relationship with certain diseases
Mm-hmm.
as a country.
I thought we were okay
And
until
all
that.
the jokes kind of just really deflated the fact that we clearly have a lot of issues with this one particular
Our
illness.
president was like, you know what? If I take,
Take
a
a
shower
shower.
afterwards.
That's a serious thing we need to talk about.
And
And
you didn't
just
get AIDS. I always thought if you had AIDS with someone, if you had sex with someone with AIDS, you instantly got AIDS no matter what. That's what the commercials told me. That's what the anti-AIDS movies told me. Turns out my president had a plan B. And it
showers.
worked.
And all the jokes kind of, they deflated the whole, this is an actual thing we need to be talking about, guys.
Yeah.
He said he took a shower. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We
And
need to
we
actually
all
discuss
laughed. It
this.
was ridiculous.
Yeah.
We need to actually discuss this.
It pointed
but then
out how
all
ridiculous
the
it
jokes,
was. Yeah.
Yeah, all the jokes made it seem more ridiculous, and
Yeah.
then it just became something we couldn't have a serious discussion about. And you're saying that that's pretty much what's happening with the EFF.
Okay. The last thing.
Oh, no, I just need the answer to that.
Not
Before I-
exactly the way he said it, but yes. Yes. What he said, but not exactly the way he said it.
Okay, so this would be my question. You saw #Julius challenge.
Mhm.
Did you know what it was about?
To me, it was
Yes or no?
about...
Yes
Because
or no?
it was about making fun of that section of the speech, yes.
Right. Now, I need to ask everyone else here, Elizay and Jake, before we watched that, did you know what the #Julius challenge was about?
I didn't see the hashtag. Yeah, dude, I'm disconnected from life. I live under a rock.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
sorry.
discovered Twitter recently.
Huh?
Yes, I did.
Yes. And
But
that,
I also I watched the
did you watch it before or after you saw the hashtag?
before. That's how it works. It happens first.
I
and
found-
then-
Okay, we're a bad group of people to run this test. I know what you're trying to get
I
at.
know what you're trying to say, and I admit, yes,
Yes,
but
from
we're
the hashtag
bad.
you will see that. I'm gonna agree with you, yes.
Yeah, because you'd be like, okay, what is this hashtag about?
And then
Because
you're gonna-
everyone's doing #Julius Malema challenge.
Yeah.
And then what happened is that, I mean, I'm gonna take my dad an example. Might be a bad example, but yes, he saw the hashtag first,
Mhm.
and then he watched on YouTube.
The full
like-
speech or just the 2
No,
minute
like he
section?
watched the whole thing.
Oh,
Tells,
okay.
me, tells me a lot about his dad.
He watched the whole thing because, okay, admittedly he was busy on the day because
Yeah.
business deals and whatnot.
Mhm.
But yes, he got home. He's like, "Hey guys, what's this #Julius Malema challenge?"
Yeah,
I was like,
Watch this video.
"You need to watch the funeral. It might take you a couple hours, but you need to watch the funeral."
You need the
'Cause-
things you need to see.
Yo,
Okay.
and we came to like, I'm like, but this is so powerful because it might not at the moment right now. It's gonna start spreading the whole thing of Julius's speech at Winnie's funeral. It's gonna spread like wildfire, and now people are going to listen to what he said because they're going to try and wait for that moment where he's like, we need a side, which is the hashtag that's going around. No, we need a side.
I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna fight you. back with the whole shower thing.
Mhm.
You can agree that the internet and the world and the way we connected is very different from now.
In what way?
Remember, I'm the one who brought up that analogy. I just like to clarify.
Yeah, but I like fighting with him.
So you're gonna use my analogy to fight him. What he said was.
You're saying.
This is why you're terrible. You're terrible because of this guy.
In the way that the shower joke,
Mhm.
we could gloss over. But when things were happening with Donald Trump and there were jokes and stuff and nobody was taking him seriously, that turned out poorly for what the media was trying to do.
Okay.
I'm saying, I'm agreeing with him in the sense that because it's now trending, and by trending I mean young people who are now current voters are talking about it. That means that to understand this, you either need to hear about what happened, which this is a part of the speech that people can get behind. It's not just a joke. It's a part of the speech that people roughly understand. That there are snakes in the grass. We all get this. Whether you're playing FIFA or you're at work, you understand.
What must we do?
Exactly. Not kids, young adults are talking about this now. And they're the ones who are going to vote. They're the bulk of the voting class at the moment. And a lot of them are working, a lot of them are in retail, a lot of them, they didn't...
Yeah, they're working class.
They're working class.
Really, how many South African waiters have you met today? Anyway, carrying on.
What I'm trying to say is, we as this generation that aren't you,
we of this generation, so definitely not him.
We weren't exactly part of apartheid. We were the end of it. But even you were young in it.
Yeah.
You didn't fully understand it
Yeah, okay. Fair
in
enough.
that time.
Yes.
But you grew up hearing about these people. So now at one of the biggest funerals of our generation, with such a monumental person, and then the only speech that people are really talking about are Malema's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the usual speech you hear from him. I'm thinking this swings quite a few things. It's not the usual. Because the usual...
It's unusual.
No. The usual, it's still extreme. I'm not saying it's not extreme. I'm saying at this point, there were people, this is a stadium with thousands of people, and they're agreeing with him. And they're different parties, and they're agreeing with him.
Oh, you're basically saying that Julius isn't the outcast in this group.
In this scenario, he
Yes.
has
not the
a
outcast.
different image in people's minds.
Yeah, we can all agree that the man got
And I think
He's
massive exposure. right
He's
now.
I think
been
this is-
growing in popularity and
Yeah.
and
and
love
that's what I'm saying.
over the years. It's
This
been happening.
media thing isn't gonna make
I
him
think what-
feel less trivial.
Okay, so what
or
you're saying
more
is
trivial.
Yeah.
all
It's good.
news is good news, in other words.
Publicity,
Nowadays,
yes.
nowadays, yes,
Yeah, whatever.
yes.
He's got that good press. Just because he has press.
Because
Because
like,
now it's gonna be like the Trump thing, where it's like, oh, they're making jokes of it. That means it can't be this bad. And then
okay, you guys
Yeah.
see, for every Trump, right, there's every politician. Like there was one British politician. Do you know, he was like the front runner for a while. And do you know what crushed him?
what?
A photographer caught him halfway through a hot dog like this. It spread like wildfire. The guy, he had to drop out the race.
Yeah,
that was
but
his
that's
own
'cause
fault. He
they
shouldn't have
don't
eaten it like that.
Caught him.
That's because they're British.
But yeah, my
But you
point
can
is,
see the big differences between
yeah,
that and
I get
a
it.
hot
I'm trying
dog.
to say, but I'm saying it is possible that maybe you're right. This isn't the one that I do agree that no, this isn't gonna cut him off at all. It's not gonna cut him off. But I am hoping it's going to be the difference between this and this.
Okay.
So you're
Like, I
hoping
feel like
it's
without it-
conversation rather than hype.
Yes, I feel like without this challenge, he would have just done this. I
You'd
feel
have
like-
just been hyped.
Yeah, it would have just been. There'd have been another election tomorrow, if you know what I mean.
No,
They'd be like, we have an emergency election.
Just
it's over.
Snakes in the grass.
just immediately be like, Ramaphosa,
I know you just got here.
officially.
I know you just got
I
here.
just got you, but we run our elections like Survivor.
And you are the weakest link. That's a different show. I don't care.
I don't care, you're out. They're snakes. Winnie gave us a sign. You've got to go. Winnie gave us a sign, and the sign is you're leaving.
So yeah. But yeah. Anyone like to say any final words for this?
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this one thing. The internet is a fickle bitch. Like, she don't care about nobody. She has 0 fucks to give. She will burn everyone. Everyone. There will be some bad that comes with this. This will make, as in the in bad taste thing, people will see that. A lot more people are going to catch on to it with all of this publicity. And fact is, a lot of people will actually see the video and completely miss the context. As in, I'm saying, in like, say, 6 or 7 months, someone eventually stumbles on it and hears about it for the first time, somehow, 7 months from now, completely new to the story, and they will watch the video and not understand that it happened at a funeral.
Yeah, definitely.
There are going to be people who just won't catch the context and will still manage to jump in just in time to understand what it is he's trying to say, but not understand where he's saying it. And that upsets me. Just that whole wrong place, wrong time thing. A lot of people aren't going to catch it. That is sad.
And whatever the media paints will be what it is.
Yeah, basically.
For me, it's just.
Yeah, what the mainstream media is going to paint it as is what it's going to become.
Not this media. This nobody's gonna look at this.
When was the last time I even saw a Madden Garden?
Dude, we're not even outcast media. I don't know what we are.
We're still trying to figure that out.
We're new one.
Yeah, we are new media, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So just on behalf of Level 2 Studios RSA, I would like to say that
we're done.
No.
Yeah.
Oh
No.
That's
first,
is that what you were
What?
saying?
before
Three topics.
before we end this one, we just want to say that
Thank you.
we don't have a specific political view on all of this. We're just genuinely
I'm a
saying-
Trump
I'm
supporter.
I'm socialist. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm anti-socialist.
Here at Level 2 Studios RSA, we deeply mourn the loss of Winnie Mandela, and we think that these are things that people need to start trying to understand on their own, and don't just listen to what's happening and what your friends are saying. And the whole point of us sitting here and talking about this is to try and get you to think about these things. And we will catch you on the next weekend special.
I'm the type like Corleone, you need to kiss the ring. If you don't respect my title, you'll be sleeping with the fish. Yeah, you